guys, it's Nurse J at Nursing the Truth, and I hope everyone is having a great evening. As usual, Nurse J is kind of taking a chill pill for the moment. She's by herself in the house, TV's off, and silence. But even though I'm by myself, I still like to give you truth. Now, I'm almost finished with this book. Nurse J is constantly reading. I'm almost finished with this book that I'm reading called Alien World Order: The Reptilian Plan to Conquer and Divide the Human Race. I'm halfway finished with the book by Graham Hancock, Magician of the Gods, and I'm halfway finished with a book called Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. So I'm always busy looking at ancient documents, ancient texts in the internet, Sumerian tablets, Egyptian proverbs, American history, Zionism, jack of all trades and master of none. But I did master nursing. So anyway, that's a wrap on that. This book is a very interesting book. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. It's about $18. And with this book, it gets all into the different star systems, constellations, and the other life forms, and what's been found on Mars and the moon and such, and ancient documents and old shamans that have talked about different entities that were found in ancient documents and ancient peoples like the Indians that are still here. As you know, the Indians were here in America way, way before the people from Europe came. So, where am I going? You know, I do believe in some sense or fashion that we have, or the humans have had some type of interference. Genetically, mentally. I believe that there are things that are unseen, things that can manifest. And, excuse me, and I think that, you know, for the most part, we are, as humans, we have sympathy, empathy, compassion, and love, and we don't want to see anyone suffer. But there are those that have this in them, and I don't know whether it is something that was made in the birthing process. Was it a learned behavior? Was it a social behavior? Or could it be a manifestation of an entity that is inhabited a body? Now, I do know in the Emerald Tablets, Thoth talks about these reptilians. They looked human, but they were reptilians. And they crept into the divine councils in Atlantis. And they could disappear and reappear. But for some sort, they were left. Some of them were left in Atlantis. So now, that brings us to the point. Reptilians. A lot of people want to talk about the reptilians. There have been ancient documents about them. In every single civilization, they were talked about. There were statues of these reptilians left in antiquity. And I'm going to show you a picture, actually. This is a reptilian mother nursing her child. And this was in the Ubaid period, approximately 6,000 to 5,800 BCE. And of course, she has a crown on her head, and she has a reptilian suckling on her breast. Wow. So, there is something around us, people. And I know that our little pea brains, we have a hard time opening up our minds. So, I want to read you a little bit out of this book. And I hope that you become more aware of what's going on and you see it unfold, and hopefully we can do something about it, because if not, it's going to be too late. If you watch movies like Transcendence or all these CIA movies with, transferring consciousness, there's a movie with Johnny Depp, I think it's Transcendence, and then there was a one with Keanu Reeves that just came out this past year where he transferred consciousness to a robot, and then his wife and children died, and he transferred their consciousness. He brought them back into their bodies. He like made them, and then he transferred the consciousness through what he had, and it went into their new bodies. Okay. In October of 2013, a conference was convened in New York City titled Global Future 2045. And you know what? I can't stand New York. I've done told you people this. It's an evil city. It's messed up. It's heavily populated, and people are running around with damn iPhones and care more about New York Giants, New York Jets, New York Mets, New York Knicks than anything else. Global Future 2045. Towards a new strategy for human evolution, scientists and academians from all over the world gather to discuss the future of the human race. What the hell are you doing going to New York to talk about the future of the human race? Experts in nanotechnology. You better listen. Biotechnology, transbiology, cybernetics met to trade knowledge and information about a collective evolution of humanity into a transcendent era of seamless man-machine merging, now called the singularity. What in the hell did I just say? Transcendent. Universe, you are working, and I thank you for that. According to one astute observer, the esoteric but clearly understood purpose of this convocation was to design a new model of society that adheres to the globalist ideologies of merging controllable humans with machines to facilitate a new race of human beings that is led by artificial intelligence plugged into the global AI computer system and functions simply to be autonomous workforce for the global elite. Do you want to be plugged into an AI computer? I don't. This is now referred to as the transhumanist agenda. Don't you see on television? Are you stupid? All these Sprint commercials, driving cars by themselves, Wi-Fi in your cars, machines cell phones. The goal of transhumanation or ism is to replace all existing laws with the purpose of destroying the existence or essence of humanity for the sake of control. Hybrid humans with robotic implants are expected to be released into the public by 2014. Oh, that's already gone. 15, 16, 17, 8, 5 years ago. That has actually begun or more or less on schedule. Oh, yeah, it's ramping up. Susan Pozell, a global syndicated independent journalist, says on her website, which is www.occupycorporatism.com, accessed on September the 20th, 2016, in an article posted on March the 8th, 2016, titled, DARPA Could Be the First to Connect Man and Machinery. You better, people, get your head out of your asses and start seeing what the world is becoming. Are we the last humans? What are these people doing? What are these entities doing? That's why I want the gods to come back. There is more than one entity. I want them to come back, my friends, because this isn't good. This isn't nature. The government wants to make soldiers into cyborgs that can communicate directly with computers. And while this technology is still a long way away, DARPA is recruiting a diverse set of experts in an attempt to accelerate the project's development and expedite breakthroughs in neuroscience, synthetic biology, low-powered electronics, photonics, and medical device manufacturing. This is all part of the UN's agenda of population transformation. The author says the aliens and the Illuminati are well along in their path and their final plans to take over the planet. In addition to creating and cloning millions of hybrids, they are seeking to roboticize the human population through the transhumanist agenda so that it can be controlled electronically as well as from the fourth dimension. The goal is to eliminate as many humans as possible who are motivated from spiritual sources. And this will be done through another war and subsequent massive depopulation. And when the human population that remains is vastly outnumbered by the hybrids and the dehumanized robots and slaves, we will become annexed to the alien empire. So, how you liking that? Does that sound real good to you? Does that sound like a promising world to your children and your grandchildren? This is not a world. This is a slave place. Our ancestors actually would be rolling in their graves if they saw this, actually. NSA, CIA, FBI, DHS, and the list goes on and on. Cell phone records, cell towers, 5G, fires for no reason, chemtrails in our skies, pesticides, herbicides in our plants and our fruits, genetic hybridization between fruits and other animals, and you don't know what the hell you're eating. It's time to call upon the gods and collective consciousness. Those that don't will be the one to perish. Those that are brave enough and the truth seekers that are out there to try to get the word out. Scholars, writers, truthers, the freaks, the weirdos, the non-religious, the atheists. Those are going to be the ones that are going to make it. The ones that are in their phones and text messaging and the Snapchatting and the Twitters and watching the stupid reality TV shows, eating the junk foods, Twinkies and Cokes and chocolate milk that's full of hormones and steroids, and eating your Tyson's chicken nuggets, you will be the one that will fall first. The ones that listens to the Pope and the evangelicals that says you have to wait on somebody, and then every Sunday that somebody doesn't show, because the one that is really showing is the one that's with you every day, that talks to you every day, that you hear every day. Is it a situation? Is it going to take the collective consciousness of us all to call upon the gods? Which gods do you want to call on? I know who I'm calling on, but that's my secret. I know many people think that people like us are crazy. But my friends, I'm here to tell you that I'm not. I'm very sane. I know what's going on. I can read a lie and the bullshit a mile away. I read facial expressions very well. I read voice tones very well, body language very well. I'm a very intuitive person. And I just wonder, are we living in a time where we're going to see something? Friends, I'm going to leave on this note as well. Go to, on your computer, agenda2045.com, and it will make your skin crawl. And this is out on the computer. It will tell you by what years they want to start doing this robotic stuff. And it's going to tell you by the year of 2045, they're going to take human consciousness and put it in a robot, guys. What does that mean to you? What that is consciousness is energy, because inside this body is energy. There is a light. There is a photon light. Those atoms are a light inside of this matter. And it leaves when we die. So soon after death, if they can get people's consciousness transcendent, like the movie, they can put it into this machine and it be trapped forever. It won't go nowhere. And it will be there. And they then, the dark side, can live on this planet through the hybrids and the cyborgs with our consciousness. then you can't die. So leaving it up to you. Are we going to do a massive rebellion against this world? Are we really going to go after the players that we know are doing this? We have to wake up. Shout it to the rooftops what's going on. Till then, guys, I hope what I read to you just now will wake you up. If not, I don't know if there's any hope for you. Until next time, Nurse J cares about you. And I'm trying to, my little old self, Southern girl from the deep South, trying to help people move along. God thoth, always guiding my path of truth and righteousness with my art. And I will be forever thankful. Until then, have a good evening.